Join me for a cozy early fall day on the farm. My old rickety vacuum finally bit the dust, and I have to say I was pretty happy about it. It blew up. The whole house was full of smoke that smelled like burnt rubber. And my husband told me that I could go pick out a new vacuum, and I was so happy about it. So it all worked out. So I ended up picking this battery-operated Hoover vacuum. I'll try to look it up and see if I can put it down below for you guys if you're interested in this vacuum. But I have to tell you, it's so much fun because I can whiz around the house in no time. It's so lightweight, and not having a cord and a big bulky vacuum to lug around means that I can go all over the house in no time. And also, it really does a powerful job. So I am really impressed with this vacuum. And my goal is to keep it in new looking condition by wiping it down after each use and trying to keep it clean because my other vacuum was so dusty and kind of gross. So I don't want that to happen to this one. I've been doing a little bit more deep cleaning, trying to tidy up the cluttered areas. And this is where I keep all of my vintage cookbooks on my fireplace bookshelf. I'll show you that in a minute because I have some great treasures in there. But I also found a box of old pictures that I'm going to be looking through. With the two teenagers I have left at home going to school now, I like to start the day with a morning cleaning routine and just tidy up all of the areas that get messy when my kids are at home. And I just don't like having people in my way when I'm cleaning. It just prevents me from getting in there and getting the job done. I've been collecting vintage cookbooks and antique cookbooks for about 2 years now, and I've found some really wonderful treasures. I find that it takes a different kind of eye to look at these cookbooks because we're also used to the glamorous pictures and, all the beautiful things that are in our newer cookbooks. And you really don't get that in these old cookbooks, but there are just a treasure trove of recipes here. And I look through these often and plan to make recipes from these books at least once every couple of weeks. I also enjoy books that have to do with homemaking, and women used to nurse in their homes. They would take care of their elderly and their sick, and I find that fascinating. And I've got a lot of books from the 40s and 50s. Let me know if this interests you and if you want more vintage type recipes on my channel. So I'm doing a bit of an unboxing here because what happened was that I bought my daughter a birthday gift, well, a few birthday gifts, and I put her address in there, but it ended up showing up at my doorstep, which frazzled me, and I had to act quickly and order the same thing all over again and make sure it got sent to her place. So anyways, I've had these boxes sitting here with every intention of returning it and getting my money back. But my daughter has convinced me that I need to keep these for myself because clearly I love them too. And so we're both going to have the gift. And so we'll be able to talk to each other and sip our coffees and our little mugs together. And it's kind of exciting. So I kind of felt guilty. It was like a guilty pleasure, but I decided that I needed to keep these. So these are some little sort of mushroom vases that you can propagate plants in by taking cuttings of your indoor plants. You can also just use them as a vase. And I just thought they were so cute. And my daughter has a lot of house plants. And she also has a really fun and unique style. I just love the style of her home. And so I thought that these cute, quirky mushroom gifts would just be perfect for sort of a fall birthday gift. And then these are some Danish dishcloths. I've never used these, but they seem to be all the rage. And so I picked out a set of these for her that had mushrooms on them as well. I kind of picked this mushroom theme as sort of a fall kind of theme, if you will. Even though it's just fun, I just think they're cute. And then this one is one of the most exciting gifts, in my opinion, which is the mushroom mug that has the little mushroom top on it. And this is just adorable. As soon as I saw it, I just had to get it. And the great thing is, you're not going to have any flies landing in your drink, and your drink is going to stay warm longer. So I just think it is so cute. So the next thing I decided to do was go through these pictures. Now, my parents moved out of the house that we all kind of grew up in as they became more elderly, and they're living in a newer home now. And when they went through all of their things, my dad gave me this box of old pictures. And boy, is this ever such a treasure. And it really, really got to me because seeing pictures of my parents at such a young age, younger than I am now, and seeing me and my siblings when we were young, and there's even a few pictures of my own kids when they were little, it just got me so emotional. And as I speak doing this voiceover, my dad is in open heart surgery right now. And so this just got me so emotional, especially because, just knowing that my parents are getting older and my dad's going through this open heart surgery, it's just almost shocking to see your parents at such a young age. And I haven't seen these pictures in so long. And this was quite emotional for me. And I still get teary-eyed just thinking about it. But there wasn't too much time for crying and sobbing because I have to get to work outside. So it was time to get out of my apron, put on some shorts because we still have some warmer weather around here, and get outside doing some weeding and picking some peppers. I woke up really early in the morning and I had this idea of doing stuffed peppers. And sometimes, you wake up and you just have all of these thoughts and you can't go back to sleep. Well, that was my thought because I had spent the previous day picking a whole bunch of green peppers. My mom made stuffed peppers a few times while we were growing up, and I always loved them. And I had a few weeding tasks to do on the farm today, and just some farm chores. My husband tells me these are moose tracks because they're really big and hooved and they're such deep imprints. So it was definitely a big animal. We get wild animals like that around here, and there has been a moose on a previous year that hung around for a really long time. So I'm bringing these peppers in the house, and there is such a strong scent to fresh peppers. It's intoxicating. This is sort of our lunch break that we take every day, my husband and I usually have my second cup of coffee or latte. So I'm having that in my new mushroom cup. Very exciting. And taking a little break, and then I have more work to do today. I got this little container of pumpkin pie spice for my lattes, but it's not quite doing it for me. I'm really considering just making my own pumpkin pie spice. It's so easy with just adding a little bit of cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, maybe some clove. I feel like it would be really easy just to make your own and probably tastier. Every single week, I have a planned schedule for my microgreens, and we grow these in our basement and sell them to local grocery stores. And so today I have to seed trays. And here's a little look at some of the microgreens that we grow. After I was done that, I decided to head out a little bit early because I needed to pick up some ground beef for my stuffed peppers. And I decided to hit the thrift store. And I found this Amish heritage cookbook written by Beverly Lewis, who writes those sort of Amish romance novels. And I am just so attracted to Amish and Mennonite cooking. And I have a few vintage books of Amish and Mennonite cooking, so that's exciting. And then I hit the nursery before picking up my daughter, and I did pick up a little fern because I'm trying to get more houseplants for the winter. Time to pick up my daughter from high school, and then I'm headed home to get started on the stuffed peppers. I wanted to see how many peppers I could fit into my casserole dish. And I had the idea of doing sort of a Mexican stuffed pepper. That's what I was thinking about at like 5 a.m. in the morning. So I wanted to cook up some ground beef with a taco seasoning and some beans. And then I had the idea of black olives, but I didn't have any in the cupboard. So I added a few green olives that I had kicking around. And then cook up some rice and mix that all together and then stuff the peppers with it. Oh, and I also added about a cup to a cup and a half of shredded mozzarella so the filling would just kind of stick together. When my mom made these, it was probably more of an Italian stuffed pepper flavor. And this is my first time trying a sort of Mexican stuffed pepper, but it was so enjoyable, especially because I put toppings on it. I highly recommend, and I will put my recipe down in the description for you if you're interested in trying these, because it was so good. And then I'm just pouring some sort of strained tomato puree on top, which my mom always did. And then I'm just putting this in the oven at 375 for about an hour to an hour and a half. You want the peppers to be really, really soft. And so I took a knife and pierced through them with it to make sure they were really soft when they were done. And now it's time for a little coffee break to look at my new Amish cookbook. And you can see my fern in the forefront of this little clip. There are definitely some Amish recipes I want to give a try, so maybe one day I'll come out with a video just on Amish recipes. That would be really fun. So here are my stuffed peppers, and they are beautifully done and bubbling and just so, so good. So I'm topping these with some grated cheese, some salsa and sour cream, and also some of my candied jalapeno peppers. One of the things I've been dreaming about for quite a while on my channel is getting my mom to cook with me, because I talk about her all the time. So if that's something that you would find interesting, let me know in the comments to encourage her to do it with me, because I think that would be so much fun. This dish was thoroughly enjoyed by my family, and there's enough for another day of meals in the fridge left over. So this will serve a large family, or for a smaller family like ours, now that we only have 4 people, we will get 2 meals out of this. I have a lot of nostalgia when it comes to cooking. My mom is definitely a really big influence for me. She was a homemaker and she cooked all of our meals from scratch growing up. And I learned how to cook from her. And I also have loved reading cookbooks since I was a teenager. So that's one of the reasons why I love cooking so much. Thanks for joining me today, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I make new videos every single week on homemaking, food from scratch, and life on our farm.